Welcome back to Nerds in the Gym. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco. Today is April 29th, 2023. Winding down on rainy Aprils, even though we're just starting to get the rain. That was a terrible joke.
Well, I don't think it was really a joke. I think it's the issue.
Oh, okay.
You
Maybe
just
that was the
mentioned
problem.
weather in a month.
Yeah, that's true.
Do I have to scooch in? I feel like I'm off camera.
I can always adjust the camera to, a little tilt like that. Oh. Tilt a little. See, now you're
There
a
we
frame
go.
better.
Should have gotten that wide lens.
Yeah. I think I do have a zoom. Oh, wait, no, I can zoom it out, though.
Do you want to restart?
No.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait, no, it is zoomed out all the way. I can only zoom in.
Gotcha.
Okay. So how was your week? I'm working on it. See?
Marcos, my week was good, Marco. Got back to the gym. Did 3 days. Got to find a way to get there on Saturdays.
Yeah. Saturdays are rough, though, for you. Because you work late on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get out of bed until I texted you guys this morning. I like Ted.
For that mysterious Obi-Wan figure that just showed up to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a package with Joe's name on it. He opens it up. There's just this Obi-Wan figure in there. And it's not like it just comes like that either. You have to assemble it.
So it was pre-owned.
I guess so.
Well, we looked... Honestly, I think it was Devin.
You think it was Devin?
He likes Star Wars. He's leaving.
We can figure this out.
Seems like something he's trying to get rid of.
No, but like if you look on it, it was delivered from a company from elsewhere. Like it was a UPS tracking on the box.
Oh, gotcha. So maybe not.
So somebody had to have purchased it and put Joe's name on it. Not only that, it comes with half of an Ahsoka. So my theory is that if you buy an Anakin, it comes with the other half of Ahsoka.
Probably.
I
mean, I looked it up. It's a $55 gift.
Well, it's so bizarre because it's also a Clone Wars figurine, and that's
From
like
the cartoon he doesn't watch.
That's from like season 1 too. That's like season 1 Obi-Wan.
Well, it was half off on Amazon, so I'm feeling like it was just at a deep discount. But still, $50 is quite
Yeah.
a lot of money.
I know. So now we're trying to track down who got it for him. This is gonna be like one of those Liam Neeson movies, Taken. Is that what it is?
I thought you were going to talk Ted 2.
Oh. Or it's like John Wick where he tracks people down.
We never saw those, Marco.
Yep, I know. Well, no, I watched like half of one on Christmas. It was a terrible experience.
Terrible.
I didn't want to watch people getting killed on Christmas.
Countdown to Guardians 3.
Yes, actually.
You're going to actually go to the theater
I'm actually going to go see it. And did you know what I found out about it? It has the first Marvel F-bomb ever.
Oh, wow.
They don't bleep it. Yeah. That was in my notes right here. I took notes for this week.
Well, they bleeped something because they released a scene I told you about last week where they're trying to get into the car.
So, apparently in the scene it's bleeped, but in the actual movie it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That I heard that's what it's for.
Well, the actress that plays Gamora says she hopes they recast Gamora, which I thought was interesting.
So does she just say that Gamora pretty much lives? And that she doesn't want to play Gamora anymore?
It's tough to say who lives and dies because...
Well, we now have the multiverse. She's already died once.
Right. And Zoe Saldana, Saldana, sorry.
She's locked into the Avatar movies now.
She's been in like 3 of the top 5 grossing movies of all time.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy to me.
She can just retire.
You would think so. I hope she's getting points on the back end. But yeah, so she says she's done with the MCU.
Yep. Well, that entire Guardians cast kind of is, though. Like, Drax, I think, is done.
Yep.
Dave Bautista said he wouldn't be just because he doesn't want to have to...
be shirtless into his 50s.
Well, he's going to a complete vegetarian diet now. Do you know that?
No. That's impressive, though.
Yeah, he had a whole, like, Vanity Fair thing where they come in, look at his gym and his kitchen and ask him about his diet and workout thing, and he explained something like that. I actually watched it, yeah. But I forget everything that was said.
No worries. Those are always interesting to me.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a reason why, and I think it had to do with his family having heart conditions from eating red meat or something.
I mean, it would make sense. But
Yeah.
the idea that he gets to keep that size while eating vegetarian is really impressive.
Well, if you look at new photos of him, he's definitely lost a bit of size. He's looking a little bit more He's looking thinner. He's still looking very strong though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, he was the big one. I wonder what they're going to do with Star-Lord though.
I think it ends with Chris Pratt, right? I don't think there's a character he can hand off the goggles to, where it makes sense.
Yeah. But I wonder if they even kill him. Do they keep him alive and he just does stuff here and there, or?
I can see him at the end of this one, him and Gamora, like, retiring.
Yeah. But we also have to remember, this Gamora and him don't know each other, really.
Right.
So, yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. Oh, there was a story that I just heard. They tried making a what if episode about the Guardians of the Galaxy, but it couldn't get made because half of it was the same plot that James Gunn was using for Guardians 3.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I read, because remember, they fired James Gunn, and then immediately the entire Guardians cast is like, oh, we're done. So they hired him back. Well, I guess the reason was he got fired, but they were going to use his script.
Oh, they were?
They were going to use the entire script. They were starting to do pre-production after they fired him, and they were like, you're going to use a script?
That's messed up.
But not let him direct.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Now he's on to DC's Superman Legacy, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, he's running the whole show. But that's the one that's getting a lot of attention.
Want to hear about my day yesterday? And it was a weird segue, but I've been waiting to tell you this.
Yeah, sure.
So I went down to the hospital for orientation for the phlebotomy job.
You took it?
Well, I took it, but then I got offered the interview at your place, so I'm going to probably take your place if they offer me the job instead.
Gotcha.
Because everybody's telling me don't do phlebotomy. That works there. So I went there for orientation, because, like, what happens if I don't get the job with your place? Then I'm pretty much like...
Oh, no, I didn't know.
Yeah, so I did orientation, went down, did the paperwork and everything at HR.
Was it at Hillcrest?
No, this was at, like, across the street from the hospital, Bishop Building or something.
Bishop Clap.
And then from there, I went down to security with Dennis, got my security badge. And there was this nurse who was talking about how she doesn't, like, wear her badge all the time. He's like, well, you need to. And she's like, well, I don't. And he's like, okay, fine. And then I go over to the occupational therapy place for, like, the drug tests and everything. And they needed to take my blood for antibodies. And I almost passed out giving my blood when I'm supposed to be going to get a job where I take blood from others. I was sitting there, I was getting very faint. The lady's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I was feeling sick to my stomach. I couldn't look at the blood being drawn anymore. I was sitting there.
Jeez.
I was passing out.
Has that happened to you before?
Nope, never happened to me before. And I was like, well, this is a new experience. I was like, that's probably not a good look considering my job title says phlebotomist. I told my mom that story, and it's her favorite story now. It was a long drive home because I was afraid that I was still going to pass out while I was driving.
I mean, I'm not laughing because of the blood thing. I don't like getting my blood drawn either. But the idea, I'm also not going to nursing school.
I'm not doing nursing school anymore after that experience.
Turns out Marco doesn't like blood.
It wasn't, like, so I wasn't watching it. I felt the needle going because I was looking away because I don't like watching things go into me. And then I started feeling super sick, like right as soon as the needle went in.
Do you feel like you could do it to other people?
No, now I'm starting to think I don't think I could. Because now I'm thinking, because it was the feeling of it in my arm that was grossing me out, and I'm like, what's the feeling going to be like when I have to put it in someone's vein? That feeling of, like, pushing it through the skin? I don't know if I could get past that now.
You want to talk to my wife about it after?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I mean, it's up to you.
Like, they still have to do training for me. It'd be funny if I passed out during training.
You wouldn't be the first one, I'm sure. No, that's pretty funny. But smart to, like, double down.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you're doing it this way, where you're saying no to the hospital and not saying no to us after offered the job.
Yeah.
Because if you get offered with this company here, they're going to be like, can you start Monday?
I know that's also not a good thing, though, just because, like, I go to, what's it called? Spain this month. That's, like, the only trip I have.
What day do you leave for Spain?
24th. Hoping that doesn't impact my chances of a job.
How long are you going for?
Like 6 days.
Oh, that won't be bad.
Yeah, like so I leave on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I come back technically I don't get back till the next Thursday just because of the time zone things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if I would even go back on the Friday. I would if they wanted me to.
Who are you flying with?
Iberia is the name. So I'm flying from Boston to Barcelona and then Barcelona back to Boston. Yeah.
Who are you flying with?
Ellen.
Oh, that'll be a good trip.
Yep. But
I wasn't sure if your mom was going the same week as you.
No, she's going the 2 weeks before me. So this.
So dumb.
No.
Family trip, and you just booked it around your mom, who listens to the show. So I apologize, Christy, that your son is such a d-bag.
No. So here's what her and my younger brother are going for 10 days. They are at the airport coming home the same time I'm leaving. Then I go out there. But it's because...
So what, you're just going to do a fist bump at the airport?
Because it's when I leave, Justin has his graduation.
Mm-hmm. Margaret, your schedule's very flexible. You could have gone the same time as they...
Well, no, I wanted to go as close to the end of the trip as possible for the warmer weather.
Gotcha.
We're on the beach.
You're ridiculous.
And I scheduled the trip before she scheduled hers. She could have made it work with mine. That's her fault. But we also have to think about, if my mom and I left at the same time, then it would literally be just Sean at the gym. Taking care of all the boxing classes.
That's quite a bit. But still, you're weird.
I scheduled mine first. She could have scheduled hers with mine.
I feel like we should call her and get her side of the story, which is like, yeah, Justin's graduating. He knew that.
I apparently it's the first week of June, so I'll still be back for it. Here, you want to call her? You want to see if we can get a caller on the show?
No, it's okay.
I was getting ready to call her up.
I feel like it took her a couple years to warm up to me. I don't want to destroy that.
Oh no, she has to deal with me every day.
Right, but I'm also not her son.
Yeah. Did you hear about how Ric Flair was on Rogan?
So the episode's released. I haven't watched it yet, but it's funny because I listened to the Ric Flair podcast.
Oh, he has his own podcast?
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend it to you because you're not a big wrestling guy.
No. He also seems like a pretty strange individual.
He was born Richard Fleer, but if you watch the documentary they did about him on Peacock or any of the ESPN ones, he pretty much lives his gimmick. So at some point he stopped being Richard Fleer and has become Ric Flair.
Oh, so he actually keeps his role outside of the...
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's become who he is.
You know what's... I've noticed, this is about WWE in general, is the way the characters were back in the day were so absurdly inappropriate in some cases.
Oh, in the 90s, you mean?
Yeah. I was seeing this clip about Dwayne Johnson when he's, talking to a reporter and he's slapping his leg as if he has to keep his...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, keep it down, boy.
It was called the Attitude Era.
Yeah. Yeah, that and people...
Some would say that was the best wrestling.
Really?
Mm.
They're going through, a pretty big shift with all their big names right now.
Who's that?
WWE.
How so?
Well, it's now, John Cena keeps coming in, and they keep just having him lose to make these other guys, look better.
So that's what happens in wrestling.
Oh, it is?
If you have John Cena come back and squash your young talent,
and
then he just goes away for 2 years, it does the business no good.
Yeah.
So you have to have the older guys come back, and they call it putting over.
So, did they ever do that with Undertaker, or did he just stay dominant his entire time?
Undertaker started wrestling late 80s, so he would literally wrestle once or twice a year. Towards the end, he lost to Roman Reigns, who has now been champion for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So they do. But you would lose to Undertaker, but he'd make you look really good.
Okay.
So, in wrestling, because it's predetermined.
Yeah. Logan Paul's the next big guy.
If you watch his matches, man, for someone that's not a quote-unquote WWE superstar.
Really? Is he that good?
He's been phenomenal.
Well, it's just easy to attack the Paul brothers.
You would think so. They've gone what they call babyface. They've gone to the good guys. The other one's supposed to be boxing Nick Diaz.
Nate Diaz. But Nate Diaz got arrested.
I keep reversing their names. Yeah. He got into a street fight and got arrested.
Did you hear about the street fight, though?
I heard he was... The other guy instigated it.
The other guy is the guy that's famous on social media for being a Logan Paul lookalike.
Oh.
So, I don't know if he instigated it, acting as if he was Logan Paul, and Nate Diaz legitimately thought he was Logan Paul, because that makes it so much more fascinating. Let me see if I can pull up his picture.
No, I didn't know it was a famous person.
Yeah, no, he's super famous just from being like looking like Logan Paul.
Gotcha.
So,
which is what a weird. Yeah, I see it.
And him and Logan Paul did do a video. Yeah, so that's Logan Paul. That's the lookalike.
Mm-hmm.
And this is literally what he's making a career off of, is being this lookalike.
Which, I mean, make your money. My thing is, like, you don't mess with the Diaz brothers.
I know. So, yeah, so then he just got completely demolished by Nate Diaz.
The rule of thumb is if they have cauliflower ears, you leave them alone.
Yeah, he handed himself into police. Nate Diaz did. Because they put out an arrest warrant. But if you watch the video, too, there's, like, a huge fight happening. It's not just those two.
No?
I wonder if I can play the video. But, like, so, like, there's a whole, like, crowd fight occurring where if you watch other angles, you can see it happening. Yeah, this doesn't have...
Oh, you're talking about at the same time, gotcha.
Yeah. So there's, like, a big fight happening here, and then they were just one of the fights that was occurring in all the fights.
Well, now Nate Diaz might be backing out of the fight because the Paul brother got a backup.
Yeah, KSI.
Yeah.
So he's the YouTuber that beat Logan Paul because Logan Paul and him had beef.
Mm-hmm.
And then he beat Logan Paul in a fight. They're now business partners for that Prime drink.
Mm-hmm.
But KSI and Jake Paul still have beef.
Gotcha.
But, like, here's the thing I can't tell is, like, because Logan Paul and KSI are best buddies, now I can't tell if that beef was actually real now or if it was all marketing to get this multi-million-dollar fight set up.
Right. I mean, which could be.
Yeah. Oh, I did see that, by the way. Andy Samberg.
I mean, if you're done with the Paul brothers, I feel like I got dumber as you explained it more.
Oh, yeah. Well,
not on you, just the situation.
So Nate Diaz, one last thing. Nate Diaz may not be backing out. He's calling Jake Paul out on steroids and is trying to get a 12-round fight as opposed to an 8-round. Because he's trying to tell him that he's going to outlast Steroid Boy.
Right, but Nate Diaz, last time he was in the octagon, didn't look great conditioning-wise, so...
That's because he doesn't condition, I feel like, anymore.
Well, that's why would you want a 12-round fight if you're not conditioned?
Well, the thing about Nate Diaz, though, is it's always the last 2 rounds of the fight, he's way better than the first 3.
Oh, maybe that's his strategy. But also, it's weird, these celebrity fights, because there are no rules. They just make up the rules. Yeah. If he accepts the challenge, they change it to a 12-rule fight. That's not how boxing works.
To a 12-round fight, you mean?
You don't just show up and be like, hey, you want to fight 12 rounds instead of 5?
Well, boxing is usually, like, main events are usually, like, 12-round fights.
Right. But these are all exhibition.
No, this is an actual legitimate...
Is it?
Pro fight. So, all the fights that Jake Paul has been doing are legitimate pro fights because they have to get their licenses and everything, and it actually counts towards a professional record.
I'm not saying it's not pro boxing, but I thought it was, like the Mayweather fight. Doesn't count for Mayweather's.
That one doesn't count, but all these ones that Jake Paul's been doing actually count towards records.
Okay.
But the problem is he's been boxing a bunch of people that don't really have boxing records either.
Right. Yeah, so moving on, Andy Samberg's going to be in Across the Spider-Verse.
That means he was already in it. They just found out that he was, yeah.
Ben Reilly, are you familiar with that character?
No, but it's a Spider-Man, right?
Yep. It's a futuristic Spider-Man.
Oh, he's going to have such a cool voice. I love Andy Samberg's voice.
I have a feeling it's just going to be Andy Samberg.
I know. Isn't that going to be awesome?
Yep, so he's a genetic clone of Peter Parker.
Can we get like a... I do feel like Andy Samberg really fits that nerdy Peter Parker role, though.
Well, he's Peter Parker's clone. So.
Yeah. I feel like Adam Sandler would be a good Spider-Man. His voice doesn't work for it at all, and it would be amazing.
The Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, Adam Sandler can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. He's just living his best life. You ever see those pictures of him just out in the streets in his super baggy shorts and t-shirt? It's great. I have heard, because of that thing you have up there for Guardians 3.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm jumping around topic like a maniac again. No segues. Just straight into it.
See, I use this just as bouncing off points, and then you're just like, ooh, I know that guy.
And then... I heard that the critic reviews are really good for it right now.
That's good.
They say it sums up what's the best trilogy Marvel's ever done.
As long as it's not super depressing, I think we'll be okay.
I hear it's actually really funny.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it is.
You know what else released this? What else, like, it actually just released? The sequel, Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor. Released yesterday.
I heard it's getting review bombed.
It's getting review bombed because the game doesn't run the way people want it to run.
Mm-hmm.
So, complaints are is that, like, on PC with the best graphics card you can get, it's running, like, 39 frames per second. PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, it dips down to, like, 55 FPS as opposed to staying 60 in performance mode. I'm like, you guys don't know, like, how crazy it is. Like, a game's playable at 30 frames per second, especially for a story game. So I think people are just overreacting a little bit.
I think people are just unhappy in general. My thing is I won't play it for 2 years anyways, so...
Until it goes on sale.
Damn straight.
See, I didn't like the first one. I won't like the second one.
I like the first one a lot, so you'd think I'd be more excited for it, but...
I heard that the combat's really good. Way better than the first game. They say it should be the standard for lightsaber combat in video games.
Well, I heard you're not starting over from square one.
That's way better. Thank God.
Is the worst part about sequel video games, where you have to, like, relearn the controls.
It's like, how did you forget how to use that? Or this?
But also, I haven't played it in a year, so now I'm going to have to try and guess.
Yeah. You know what those games should do? Is they should... All the skills you learn in the first game should stay into the next game. That, like, if you fully max out the character, should just be the starting set as the beginning of the second game. But then you can further upgrade your powers and stuff from there. So it's like you constantly evolve into this, like, just overpowered combative maniac.
Yeah, it's just tough because if you started the second one, you have to find a way for people to catch up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I know the Aquaman trailer dropped. I didn't watch it.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Is Amber Heard in it?
Yep. That was announced at CinemaCon or something this week.
Okay.
That's where a lot of the news came out. Did you watch the Transformers trailer?
I didn't even know they were... This is, like, the first Transformers? Is that what it's being... Like, this is, like, takes place before anything else?
I think it takes place in 94.
Okay.
Well, I know it takes place in 94. I think Bumblebee was before it.
Okay.
In the
But this is, like, the first time with Optimus Prime and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think is their way of getting around them writing themselves into a corner with the original 4.
Is
5.
Chris Hemsworth voices, right?
That's a different one. Now they're doing a Transformers cartoon. And Chris Hemsworth's going to be a voice in that one.
I just haven't really followed Transformers. The first one I ever watched was with Megan Fox and Shia LaBeouf.
So, 1 or 2.
And I was not a fan. I got it as a gift for Easter one year.
Because you're a good boy.
Yeah.
A lot of Flash footage is starting to get leaked. Trying not to care.
Is Ezra Miller still the Flash?
Yeah.
They have do they have Christian Bale's Batman in there?
Yep. No Christian Bale. Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are in there.
Yeah. So.
Hey, Christian Bale's could be in there. We just don't know yet.
Right. I mean, if he wasn't such a purist about everything, I would say so.
Yeah. Hawkeye.
Jeremy Renner has been doing the talk show circuits
That's what it is. He has a new show, Renovations.
on Disney Plus.
Have you watched it at all?
No, have you?
No, is it out now?
Yep.
Maybe I do need to put this on my watch list. Actually, speaking of Disney Plus, have you heard about all the Mando 3 stuff? Season 3?
Are we not on season 3?
No, that's
what
what
finished season.
That's
3.
what just finished. But did you wait? We didn't talk about the ending because you hadn't seen it yet.
Yep.
What were your thoughts?
We can talk about Ted Lasso last week and Mandalorian.
The Ted Lasso. You saw the Amsterdam and the one after Amsterdam.
Yep. I've been watching it weekly.
Okay.
Okay, so Mandalorian. I'm good with it.
It was a good ending.
If they bring back Moff Gideon a third time, then I might be out. Because he's in the super suit, so he might survive.
No. What I've heard is that he's a clone. Because he doesn't have the mustache like all the clones in there. I was like, well, what if he just shaved his mustache and then cloned himself without the... But again, I don't know what the process is for making clones, like how long it takes.
Right, and I'm already kind of out on the clone thing. Because we've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
And it kind of ruined the last series. So I'm good with the Mandalorians getting their home back.
Yep.
I'm good with that. I'm good with Bo-Katan leading without the Darksaber.
Yep.
Good with that. I am good. They had to find a way to get him off Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they made Grogu the apprentice. He has to go on adventures. Good with that. I'm good with him being a bounty hunter again. And I'm good with him having a second home.
So I heard a lot of this season got changed. From what it was originally supposed to be.
Well, originally Grogu was like a season 1, goes with Luke, we're done. Or 2 seasons, whatever it was.
So, what was supposed to happen apparently is Grogu was never supposed to be brought back in those Boba Fett episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Mando was still supposed to help Boba.
Yep.
Boba was supposed to appear in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Grogu was not supposed to appear until the end of season 3.
But Disney's not going to lose that money.
And save Din Djarin.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is Disney didn't want to lose that money.
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen Kennedy made that change in the story. Then when Bob Iger took over again, you know how all those Disney Plus cutbacks are happening?
Mm-hmm.
They scrapped a bunch of stuff from the end of season 3 to save costs on the movie. So that's why Boba never showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what Tamara Morrison just confirmed he was supposed to be in it, but never got the call because of cutbacks on cost. Apparently the Mythosaur was supposed to appear, and the ship wasn't supposed to crash into Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
There was supposed to be an entire space battle. Grogu was supposed to come back, control the Mythosaur, defeat them. But
Which is all super expensive CGI.
That's why it didn't happen.
So, honestly, I'm good with the ending, man. I'm good with Grogu
Yeah.
getting hinted as being the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to the Mythosaur.
Yep.
Trying to think of what else happened. I'm good that they got rid of his body, turned him into a sheriff. Because you know how I felt about that.
Yeah. It's going to be... I feel like eventually they're going to have to CGI him so he can do more combative stuff at some point.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I want to see how they do that. Like, obviously they did a tiny bit of it, but they kind of just CGI'd the puppet into places, moving him around.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, they're going to have to go the full, like, episode 2 route for Yoda.
Yeah, because he's going to have to get bigger at some point. They're going to have to do a time jump. But I like that Din Djarin
I would almost prefer
peace for a little bit.
If they did either the next season, they started off where like a couple episodes he's younger, first time as apprentice, and then they do a time jump for the second part of the season where he's like a few years older doing stuff.
The problem is you have to age Grogu at 10x.
Yeah.
So you're going to lose Din Djarin if you jump too much.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like that they have their little house.
Yeah.
I like that Carl Weathers is 20 minutes away to call him on adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this 1, 2, and 3 ends book 1.
Yeah.
So now you start book 2.
Yeah. I would even consider seasons 1 and 2 book 1. This is book 2 that we're in.
Well, no, because there's no... Right now, if I had to tell you, hey, what is season 4 about? We have no idea.
It's Grogu furthering his journey as a Mandalorian.
Right.
This is like like seasons 1 and 2 were his journey to going off to where he belongs as a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Then he comes back. Season 3 and 4 are more going to be his journey as becoming a Mandalorian.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's my take. Anyways, I'm not going to argue on a mythical book that doesn't exist, where the chapters end.
You know what's crazy though? What happened to Dr. Pershing? She didn't come into play at all in this last episode. We wasted 40 minutes spending time on a story where nothing happened with him except he got brainwashed.
It was closer to 50. And the best part is they could have kept the episode gone, made zero difference, because they go, hey, what happened to that doctor? And he goes, he was captured. That's just as good as what we saw.
It was such a waste of my time. It didn't come into play at all. If it comes into play in season 4, I'm going to be so upset.
I'm going to be even more upset when he gets his own spin-off where he has to relearn science after his mind's wiped.
A cloning process, a Star Wars story.
It's just ridiculous. I think I watch Andor like once a week, so I get through like an hour of Andor, and I'm just stuck. I can't get into it.
Yeah, it's hard to get into, right? Like, I have to admit, it's well made, it's well written, it's just a story I don't care about. Because I don't mind slow, like, shows or movies, it's just I don't care about it.
Right, I mean, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
Where are you at with Jokers?
I just watched the Blake Anderson one.
That episode, that's the newest episode.
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
I liked it.
I thought it was a great episode.
They did the classic fake charge.
Yep, I like that one.
I don't like that they didn't have Dan Cass or the one that always plays the manager.
Yeah.
I like him when he's the manager.
I did the lady they got did a good job.
Oh, no, she's been in it a lot. I do like her, but there's certain things, like, if I'm doing the grocery shopping, I need him, and I need him at the restaurant, because he looks like a manager.
Yeah. I also liked, what was that second challenge? I just had in my head. They had to get the person to agree with the phone call they were having about the pictures.
Yeah.
That was... those pictures were so good.
You skinny.
That one killed me.
It's an inside joke. Super inappropriate. Is it?
Obviously, what was the one about the grandfather that just died?
Oh, yeah. Grandpa's watching it from heaven.
Yep. And I forget what Sal's was that made him lose.
Uh-oh. Oh, he laid off the other kid's dad.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully that if we turn things around in the fourth quarter, that I can rehire him. Come by and use the pool.
Yeah, those were good challenges, but then that punishment was really good. I wish Blake
creative.
I wish Blake Anderson did more because anytime what was the saying he was saying?
Oh, the ganja.
Yeah, that
you can trust the ganja imp or something.
Yeah, that killed me every time he said that. But he was anytime he chipped in, that punishment made it so much better. I loved when he started freaking out at the end too.
At the end, he's like, "I put my own money into this."
Oh, he was so good, but having Sal have to get up because Sal's not a small guy, so you know he doesn't move around very like nimbly and everything.
And they chose the perfect person in the room to torment too.
Yeah.
But also, how dark was that room that they didn't see anybody?
That's what was crazy to me, because didn't they have a projector going?
That's what I thought.
I don't know.
So I didn't understand that part, but they were in the dark for a while.
Yeah.
I just wish...
Well, if you watch, though, there's some points where the projector's off and everything's on.
Yeah, and that's what they use to get Sal in and out. But the only thing I wish is that he blamed the ganja weasel. And made Sal blame him.
I don't know if I have much more to talk about.
I'm trying to think. Were you a Twisted Metal kid growing up?
No, I actually didn't hear about it until this past week.
Oh, you never played the game?
No.
We might have to find you a version of like old school Twisted Metal.
I wonder if I can get it on PlayStation Now, which is like it's kind of like backwards compatibility for PlayStation, but I have to stream it.
This was like a PlayStation 1 or 2. I mean, I'd play that with you.
Yeah, let's see if it's on there. Maybe.
I don't think the show's going to be very good.
Okay.
I like Anthony Mackie, but
yeah.
the game was literally just cars shooting each other, so I don't know how you make a script out of that.
Yeah. They'll do something. I feel like it's just going to be like Fast and Furious.
I was in the middle of stuff at work, and I heard the trailer drop, so I went out of my way to go watch it, close the button, like stop what I was doing to go watch this trailer, and it was literally just Anthony Mackie driving a car.
Okay, yeah, that's the trailer I saw, actually.
I was just like, no, didn't really have to get up from my desk for this. Let me check my notes real quick. Otherwise, we might be doing a short episode, bud.
Hey, I don't think short episodes are that bad of an idea, though.
No, not at all.
I think shorter episodes probably, we're not like Joe Rogan or anything where people are like, oh, we'll sit down, listen to this influencer for 3 hours, talk to Elon Musk about weed.
What's a lot of the guests talking about other people that aren't guests?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing. CinemaCon wasn't that impressive to me.
I tried keeping tabs on it, but nothing was coming out.
They didn't really release any footage.
Well, Marvel wasn't really there, were they?
No, they do their own Disney.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me check out news from CinemaCon, which I spelled wrong.
CinemaCon news.
Let's try that again.
But yeah, it did like just not a lot came out from it. Because normally Marvel has gone in the past, even when they have announced their own stuff at their own like Disney Plus thing.
Yeah, because they pulled themselves from Comic-Con years ago.
But I feel like it's because they're trying to build Marvel up again. It's not like back like when it was Avengers Infinity War and stuff where they showed up and they had like the whole ensemble cast. We don't know who the next batch of Avengers is.
Not yet, no. Rihanna's going to be voicing Smurfette.
Oh.
They released more Ninja Turtles footage from the Seth Rogen movie. Dune 2. So I should probably watch Dune 1.
I'm going to wait until Dune 2 comes out to watch the first one because it's a 2-part thing. And I kind of don't want to be like, oh, I watched part 1. I really want to know what happens in part 2 and have to wait years. Why when I could just watch it back to back?
That's true. And then... yeah, I guess there wasn't a whole lot going on. I'd be mad if I went. Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio speak about their new movie.
Yep.
But they didn't release any of the trailers to go along with it. So they showed the people there, but they didn't show.
Yeah, I saw pictures of it.
You've been keeping up with the Bruins?
Oh, it's painful. I don't want to even talk about it. I can't. This game 7, I'm not even watching it. It's gonna kill me.
This is an epic collapse. All comes down to one game.
Yeah. You go 12 losses the entire season, you already have 3 in the playoffs.
It's crazy.
And it's not like they played bad teams this year.
No. This happens every year with hockey. The best team in hockey always gets bounced.
Yeah.
But there's still a chance. Yesterday's game was crazy in the third.
Well,
it was like 6 goals between the two teams in 10 minutes.
I heard that they got screwed over by the officials at one point.
There was a video review, which never happens in hockey. And it was a hand pass. The guy would try to pick up his stick, touch the puck, so it's a hand pass. So the call was right, but...
So, where was it that I saw? Maybe I could pull it up. Because I heard that if it's not intentional, it doesn't really, like...
count?
Yeah.
I mean, then impossibly. But still, they lost by... They would have taken it to overtime then.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just gotta have faith.
Yeah.
One more game.
They better win, I swear.
What are the Celtics doing?
I have no idea. They were having the same problems too. They just were kind of choking.
It went from a really good month for Boston sports to could be very sad.
Yeah.
Boston won the series 4-2.
Oh, they did win. Okay.
From Thursday, so they
Celtic or the Bruins better bring it back. I'm gonna lose it if they don't.
And then you do anything with the NFL draft?
No.
Okay.
I don't care about the draft.
How dare you? I watched part of the first round, then I went to bed. Nothing
Belichick's
crazy.
doing the same thing as he normally does, all defensive players.
Yeah. Defensive players and trading back.
Mm-hmm.
So, should be interesting. I guess the cornerback we got was supposed to be a top 10 pick. They don't know why he slid, so.
They also got a really good defensive end that was supposed to be a first rounder that slid to the second round.
In round 2.
Mm-hmm.
Houston got a quarterback whose career is now over.
Really?
Well, I meant like just because he's going to Houston.
Oh, okay. I thought like something video came out or something about him.
They had they had Deshaun Watson during like golden years before he had to take a year off.
Yeah.
Suspended, and they couldn't win. So, Colts got a new quarterback. So, should be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, bud. If you got nothing else,
I got nothing else.
You guys get 10 minutes back of your day.
You saved you on this one.
All right, guys. We've been Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco. Stay nerdy, folks.
Peace out.